Hello and welcome to another edition of Dearborn Style. Although I'm going to start in an all American city here in Wayne County, it's Garden City. And there's my sister holding up a big boy hamburger along with the big boy himself, and my mom also. We're doing the selfie here. This is attraction. That's my brother-in-law Dominic. He's a little bit of a ham, but we'll allow him that. So he came all the way from Montreal. All right, so we're gonna take a look at the Dearborn map. Well, this is actually a AAA map, but the border between Dearborn and Allen Park, you got the pink is Dearborn, the Allen Park is gray. We're looking at that Republic, Federal, Rotunda, and Southfield. I'm going to make a loop around here. This is the Lions practice facility, and Allen Park takes all the credit for the training facility, and I like to think that half of it is located within the Dearborn city limits. We need to get a surveyor stat on that to check, because there might be taxes to be had. All right, well, check in. A lot of the season ticket things were sold out, and then they announced a few weeks later that, yes, indeed, all the season ticket allotment was sold out. Kind of looks like a rainbow pattern there with the seating chart. They might be woke over there at the Lions. All right, I had to do some business in the city of Southgate. So I was around here. They have an ice cream place there. All right, but the main focus of the start of this, while I'm going to call it Dearborn Style, is there was Amtrak meeting, or MDOT, but they were talking about safety along the Amtrak line through various cities, and they wanted to know what we could do to improve the safety so there would be less accidents and near misses. Those little pinpoint things there mean near misses. This was held out at the Hampton Inn on Michigan Avenue. My nephew Jake told me about this, and I said, well, maybe I'll check that out. But yeah, there were a few near misses near the crossing guards, and they got all the flashing lights and all that, but people just don't want to wait these days. So the city of Dearborn has a couple places there near misses. So they had plenty of charts and pictures, and even a person died here with the Amtrak line. It's not just the Amtrak trains, but it's also just the freight trains that use that Michigan Avenue line. And they're looking at no base is covered or whatever, stone is unturned. They even down to the fencing and the like. So they had a banquet room here, and they were wanting public discussion. And that's like urban planning. Audience participation is encouraged, and that's what they want. All right, so we got some lighting going on here. This is like the main breakfast area. And so they had the TV on to, I think, Judge Judy. So they had some nice pictures in here, but out on Michigan Avenue, and talking about urban planning, it's a little difficult with Michigan Avenue because this is a pretty narrow pinch point spot. It's hard to get an adequate sidewalk. Mochi dough. Some people were asking about this, and it's like premium Japanese ice cream or donuts or something. It's supposed to be all the rage. There's a wing place nearby and an egg bar. I'm not familiar with an egg bar. That's a new one. All right, well, here's a beautiful church, Sacred Heart. This is certainly an anchor on Michigan Avenue. Michigan and Military. Nearby, a K&G store. Yep, this is the hometown of Henry Ford. I'm just looking at a few of the businesses. Here's a place, Cocoa Shack. It looks like they got stuff with coconuts. Hookahs, that's with smoking. The Butcher's Kitchen, that's easy enough to figure out. And then nondescript, but this is a new place. And you can only tell it from the sign, neon sign out front. But yeah, you enter through the back. Bulldog's Cheesesteaks. There's a lot of good sub places that we have to choose from in the Detroit metro area, including Tubby's, which is close to that Village Plaza. But yeah, urban planning, what to do with that Village Plaza. It'd be nice to have the Village people return, but that building has issues. It's got asbestos problems and heating and cooling or whatnot. So they got to keep an eye on all that kind of happy stuff. But yeah, it had a demolition order, and they're, I guess, fighting it. Sunglasses After Dark. Now, one of the lead singers is from Etzel Ford, my alma mater, so that's a bonus there. But the other, another player is from Dearborn High School, so I don't know how they get along. But anyways, they play at New Place Lounge, and they're quite the rage. So that's where I'm in now. And I got myself a burger. I love hamburgers, so burger and a side of fries. I'm noticing this camcorder's flickering a little bit, the picture. So it's either the tape that's acting up, or I might have to switch camcorders here because I get a little flickering. Oop, they got some rainbow chairs to choose from, and an assortment of dirt, typically, or fertilizer. All right, Harbor Freight, they have good prices. Here's another place for a sub sandwich, but then they have grinders too, I guess. So Dearborn Music, they've been around longer than I've been born. That's getting something to hang your hat on. Wow, kazowie. But I always stop in here or the station to pick up a Metro Times. You can get it on Wednesday, but a lot of times it comes in late. So Thursday is probably a better option. And look, I think this was a Monday I was checking. They were sold out, even though they're free. That's the way the expression goes. They were sold out. All right, Hampton Inn was where that meeting was. But there's this area right in front, I think, was the Mercury Motel and breakfast place and what to do. I thought there was going to be something, and nothing happened. Green spaces are always nice, but nonetheless, there were supposed to be big plans for that. All right, some architecture there, and here's those rail lines here. There's Sacred Heart Church. We're going to take a look to the back here. A lot of times I just feel we put our back to the railroad tracks, and we should look at it more as a front door instead of the back door or the side entrance. I know people don't like the trains because they're so damn loud. Not in my backyard kind of thing, but no, trains rock. Everybody likes trains. But yeah, look, they have housing nearby. I wonder how these people deal with it. They must just be up in arms. How dare they build a rail line right next to where I live? And then they usually follow that up with, well, I'm not against trains or nothing. I just don't want it in my backyard. It's okay in your backyard, but not in mine. And it doesn't matter. Trains, churches, any development, it all comes up the same way. Anyways, they're going to put up a park here, so maybe the people that live in this area are going to be excited about the park. Looks like they had a grand opening and maybe a to-do, like a ribbon cutting, and they break ground ceremony. But yeah, in between these two parking decks, just imagine a nice park. Yeah, that flickering's starting to get annoying, so yeah, I think I might have to switch camcorders. All right, so the railroad crossing here, and they're doing some painting here, so it's always nice to see people spruce things up. Galata, they have some nice Turkish suites, and the lighting inside is just awesome. If you're into lighting, and I am, it's really cool. They should sell some of that stuff. I'm going to have to ask them next go around. All right, so they got some private property here, but they got like a little place you can relax. This West Village Drive is kind of a neat little area. And you can stick a fork in it, a luff fork. Here's the Imagine. And this is a takeoff of a Beatles song, but yeah, they're going to build the Peace Park. This was announced earlier this year. The mayor announced it at his State of the City speech, and there's going to be 3 parks. One's going to be at the old City Hall at Michigan and Schaefer, and another one on the east side of Dearborn on Salina Street. Okay, and then they had a special there on chicken sliders at the White Castle. Okay, I got to switch tapes. Just hang in there. Go grab yourself a beer or something. That usually helps. All right, I'm just going to put in another tape here, and we're going to start again. A different day, different time. All right, here's our football-inspired bridge. So, yeah, this is August 9th, and there's a function at the junction. I see all these people wearing blue. So I'm thinking to myself, what's up with that? Looking, they're all lined up. Lions logo only. Okay, please park at lot. Okay. Wow, they even have traffic signs. See, look at here, Allen Park, home of the Detroit Lions. And I beg to defer. The guard shack and part of the parking lot up front, sure, is in Allen Park. But the back part where the barn is, and at least the 2 practice fields in the back, that's in Dearborn. Just according to looking at the maps that I've seen. But we're going to need to get somebody with the proper surveying equipment, get out there and just check. Do what they do. All right, so this is a Ford development area. This is kind of where I park, but they're nondescript buildings. There's the barn, and they could put solar panels up there for sure. So they could go green, set the example. There's some wildlife here, and Bianco Tours, they were bringing people here by the busload, literally. So fans galore, and so there's a new policy required for entry, but they laid some nice gravel down here, and you enter through the gates there. There's like a portal, and then they have like even a metal detector kind of thing. But yeah, look at another bus. And just more and more fans. Like, everybody's on the hype train. They're on the hype bus. They're on the hype airplanes. They're all over the place. But with all that hype comes expectations. Oh, that's difficult. Yeah. Expectations. Yeah, some people think that quite possibly the Lions should win the division and by thus doing make the playoffs. But if they win 10 games, they should make the playoffs too. 9 wins can never be a guarantee that you'll make the playoffs. So if you go 10-7, they don't have the easiest of schedules. Oh, look at this. This is, I was going, what's going on? But this was like a police escort and all this kind of stuff. Across the way is the Rotunda Center. And they're cutting the grass and everything. So things look good. Actually, the grass on this side of the road is really good. It could be a golf course. The grass is so nice. They got a camera set up on a tripod there. And this is definitely from the outside looking in. That's a Ford Rouge factory tour bus. So that's heading. Okay, here's the police escort here. Check this out. I was going, what is going on here? Look at all this to do. folks, there you have it. That's how they do it for the New York Giants as they make their approach to the Lions practice facility in Allen Park / Dearborn. Kid you not. Gonna beat that to death. All right, so you can see the goalpost there. There's not much of a breeze. They open the gates at 9:30 in the morning. The joint practice starts at 10:30. So here's Southfield Expressway, the service drive area, and you can still see the fans. Boy, they could put a putting green right here. Grass was really nice, and I'm sure it could be relaxing for the players after practicing so hard. They might want to golf a little. Way off yonder is the tower there for the Henry Ford Museum. How cool is that? But yeah, this is, look at the crowd and a well-behaved crowd. Oh, it was perfect. You see some of the fans in the stands there. They got themselves on the top row. And so not far from Oakwood Boulevard is the south end. It's between Oakwood and Rotunda. But, yeah. So you get your tickets on your phone, and I guess they're going to scan that. It's all ages, so it's certainly kid-friendly. Not pet-friendly, though, but kid-friendly for sure. And the tickets are free, but you have to get them early. So get on the Lions app or on their mailing list or whatever so you get word of it, because they were gone lickety-split. And I was left holding the bag. I did the best I pretty much could. Southfield Road, they say over here. On the maps, they say Southfield Freeway. Here, Henry Ford Museum, Greenfield Village, Automotive Hall of Fame, straight ahead. We could get a more impressive sign, possibly. Off in the distance, they're going to change that sign from Beaumont to Corewell Health. They've had trouble agreeing on a name. All right, well, there's the proving grounds a little bit, the Dearborn proving grounds. They got to trim the vegetation a little bit, but behind that fence, yeah, they're going to do the car thing, testing cars. And then way off yonder, that's a research and engineering thing, but the city of Dearborn's been super duper quiet. I haven't heard nothing about that building. So, yeah, I might have to search online. Here's another bus for the factory tour if you want to see the Rouge plant as they make the F-150s. That's a pretty green place. They have like a green roof on top and everything. All right, well, here's Southfield Freeway or road, depending, but quite a bit of traffic going through in and around there. There, a lot of times you're just going to see the facade. You'll just see that little barn action, and you might wonder, well, what goes on in that barn? Well, they practice, they lift weights, they push things around a little bit. Again, putting green, it would work. And then over yonder, that's where they're about to start practicing. This guy stands out in this nice red convertible. Yeah, my camcorder doesn't like the bright sunlight. It's doing the flickering. So these things have a shelf life and then they go, or usage. All right, well, they blocked this off again. Yeah, that was a straggler bus. But it was bus number 1. I don't know if it was the coaches or the coaching staff and the owner and people like that. They allowed them to sleep in a little bit, but the other people probably had to get up early. The Lions ended up winning their first preseason game. How cool was that? Wow-wee, Zowie. The hype train continues to roll. All right. Okay, well, this show's Dearborn style, but I got on this M-Dot kick. My nephew Jake told me about the one at Hampton Inn in Dearborn. That was with the trains. But this one here is about the I-375. They're going to take that part of the freeway down and make it a surface street and make it more pedestrian friendly, user friendly. So we're going to enter. This was at Eastern Market, shed number 3. So looky here. This is the section of 375 they're going to gobble up, and it won't be a freeway anymore. It'll be a surface street. And they're going to accommodate bikes and all that. They had a video presentation to start off with, so you can kind of focus on a few things there. Okay, yeah, and this area has a lot of history. This was the African American community back in the day when it was known as Black Bottom, and Paradise Valley was the entertainment thing, but the business was centered around Hastings Street, and they just tore Hastings Street right up to make way for that 375 and then onward I-75. But yeah, some people said it wasn't urban renewal, it was Negro removal. So now it's we have an opportunity to kind of make things right. But look at the construction, it might not be done till 2029. So it's not an aggressive time frame at all. They're leaving themselves plenty of room. Well, Channel 4 was out here, so that's always good to see. I like it when the big boys and girls cover these urban planning type things. They're talking about Gratiot there, and I-94 also.
Brush, Chain, Grand Boulevard, Mount Elliott, Concord, Frontenac.
Yeah, they got segments.
Yep. Yeah, so the different segments.
Okay. So they're doing segment 1 right now, pretty much, right?
Well, they're just working on bridges, so they're not. These segments can be confusing. This is how they divided up the project in segments. But they're going to construct it and they're going to break that down into other packages. So they're right now working on design of this package right here, Burns to Barrett, and they're looking to start construction.
Oh yeah, and then they had these cookies. I didn't have one, but with M&Ms, they sure look good. They're woke cookies, I guess, but I don't think. Anyways, there's the GM Global headquarters, and then people would put sticky notes, and yeah, this is urban planning, and audience participation is encouraged and invited and everything. They want to hear what you got to say. And so they have different things here, and I thought they would talk more about the businesses and all that. They were talking like the nuts and bolts of how they're going to put the roads, well, the aesthetics. So the lamp action, the bike path, the planters, and well, the streetscape. So even look, the lamppost option A. Then you got a wide cycle track. Even the way the curbs are cut. Yeah, so you have to pay attention to detail for sure. This was all good. This was everything. This was like down to the dotting the I's and crossing the T's kind of a thing with what they can do. Now, I was surprised. I thought they were going to make this into like an open-air market. I was surprised they were having all these different cars were still going to traverse it, but they got 3 lanes going each way. We'll look at this a little bit more. And Monroe Street, Macomb Street, so that's heading towards downtown. But, so they had those sticky notes. You could add things. Now here with the planters, 11 feet wide for the car lanes. So here on the bottom, you got a tree that's 20 feet. Then you got 4 car lanes on the southbound. Do we really need that many? Then a median, and then the northbound has 3 lanes, and then a cycle track and a sidewalk, and that's all good, but God, do we need that many lanes of traffic? I don't know. Thought we were trying to get rid of the expressway, and now it's just like, what? 4 lanes? You should try to ease up on vehicular traffic and get people to walk more. What I want to talk about and see what they're going to do is what they call excess property. And that we'll see, because I want to see businesses, what they're going to do and how this area is going to get developed. They haven't got here excess property. They haven't gotten to that point yet. So the middle part where the freeway was, they're still going to have all those surface lanes of road, and then you'll have some streetscaping. But the excess property is on the side, so that's going to be the businesses, the bars, the restaurants, the urban development, whatever we want to put in there. And it should be things to promote the African American community or the black folk. I prefer that. There's white and there's black, and I'm off-white. And there's different shades of between white and black, the whole gamut. But yeah, African American. Let's just go with white folk and black folk. All right, excess property. So what are the black folk going to do in those excess property things? What do they want in their neighborhood? I certainly think they should try to recreate Paradise Valley to some degree, and that will encourage tourists and the like to come to our city, because we do have a good party scene. Look at all this traffic here. Even some turn lanes. Look at all that. They should have less car lanes and more areas for this excess property, so you can put up businesses, creative art spaces, maybe an outdoor amphitheater or a stage. Look at all the sticky notes. People were offering their input, and anybody can do that. You don't have to have a master's degree or a doctorate or something. Anybody can be involved with urban planning. That's the beauty of it all. And no suggestion should be overlooked. So they even have some video. So it's the eastern edge of the downtown loop. I'm going to do this one time. Take the loop. It's like a short city tour. I think you can do it probably in 5 minutes. Take the loop around. But that 375 segment won't be freeway. Then up there, I-75 will continue to be freeway up there, no problem. So you can get in and out real quick. So again, the time frame, it's not going to be done till close to 2029 if all goes well. So yeah, this was in shed number 3, and Shinola always has good time. They had one that was off in Dearborn, but they fixed it by the animal shelter. So they got that one, so.
Okay, so all just pedestrian.
Yeah, so yeah, you can get through here too.
And you would go under here.
It would be over
the bridge,
yeah.
right?
So there's
and the
no
traffic is under, right? This traffic is street level, right? This traffic is at street level?
the boulevard traffic. Yeah.
Right.
So there's
is
crosswalks here.
Yeah, no, it's good to see people interested and excited, because if we do it right, it's gonna be there for 20, 30, 40 years. So get it right the first time. Here, this pig seems to be happy, but I'm not quite sure why, because he's getting roasted. But yeah, Eastern Market's such a cool area too, and it's only going to improve because they knocked down the incinerator that was just north of here. That's going to be a great boon for the whole eastern side of Detroit, even Midtown, because depending on how the wind blew, you'd smell that incinerator, and it was nasty. All right, Orleans. So we got a little New Orleans flavor. We got a lot of people doing the bike thing, which is always nice. That's a great way of getting around. But I'll vouch for this place, Cutters. It gets my seal of approval. And I'll be there more in the fall here when the Lions play, because I'll be near the tailgating scene, and they got a good deal on a 1-pound burger. And it's like my man versus food type thing, but I can do it. They got good entertainment at Bert's, plus good food. They always do the barbecue thing, so you can count on that. Gas prices have gone up. 337's not bad. That's Michigan Avenue in Greenfield, but there's a great deal at the Citgo on Telegraph, just north of Van Born on the east side. That's like the new player in town. That's right close to my house. All right, the thumb was kind of bent over, folding over. I like my little stickers on my rear window, but I bought this new one here. Kind of a red sticker district here, but the 313, I just applied that one. But yeah, I'm gonna take I took the one off. This was $5. I got this at the City Bird, I think, in Midtown. But I don't want to cover up the Ford car light thing, so right about there, I think. So there we go. It's applied. Pressed down real good, and then good cloud day, and then yeah, just a little minor cleanup. Yeah, look at the clouds though. Gotta love those summer good cloud days. All right, so again, 313, and I like to focus in this show. I'm trying to focus on Dearborn, but just did a little bit of Dearborn this week. I'll skip around. I might bend the rules a little bit. This is Dearborn Heights at my house, and we were getting some rain. I don't have to go far if I want to get an ice cream. The neighbor, both husband and wife, sell it. So they got a white truck and a black truck. So I have my pick. My neighbor has those. My mom loves those flowers too. All right, then I took a long nap. Okay. Check this out, though. This is back in Dearborn. I'm going to keep track of this, but this is the Regent Court, and this was Friday, August 11th, and I wanted to see what kind of progress they're making on this. There's some phone numbers here. I called one. The guy was pretty good. He told me, hey, we're putting the crane together. We just got started, so nobody's working on it right now, but I see he's correct in saying what he did, because there's a pinch point there, so be careful with that counterweight. I was staying plenty clear of that, but look at the traction action here. It's like a big tank kind of thing, but there's the captain's chair, and not in the center, off center a little bit to the left, I guess we would say, the driver's side. Then you got some big cotter pins you got to put in there. So yeah, they're going to put the crane portion, but they got the tracks hooked up to the body. And so I was told it takes 3 days, probably not a continuous 3 days, but this thing, I want to see this thing move. But it's going to lumber, and I bet you'll just take down that fence lickety-split. Won't even act like it's there. Boom. And then it's going to start taking pieces out of the Regent Court, which still kind of an attractive building. It was affectionately known as the Blue Lagoon because of the Ford logo type thing. 16800 was the street address. I had a friend that worked there, though. He called it the Darth Vader building. I think it's kind of because they have those vent holes up top, and they're like breathing things. Darth Vader breathed out of a mask and had like a ventilation thing. So he called it the Darth Vader building, but either way, it's coming down. So there's the Henry, and I'm wondering if the Lions player stayed there. That's in the city of Dearborn, but it had a City of Detroit police escort. So that's a good question to find out where the teams stay when they come into town. I know they don't want fans to bug. Look at the Darth Vader, those vent holes to the left, and then the oval went right where I'm focusing now, the blue oval, but they took that down. A developer just bought this building in the fall of last year, I believe, and he's going to make a multi-purpose development. But it's going to be, he wants families to live here, so stay tuned. Whether that's apartments, condos, exactly what that entails, we do not know. Maybe the city of Dearborn knows, but it could be still hush-hush. First, we got to do the demo, and this will be cool. This is where you stick the cotter pin through. Got to be a pretty decent-sized cotter pin to hold that in place. You'd have cotter pins on your brakes on your car, but nothing like what you would need there. That might be the front windshield. And then that's the claw action. And that's going to start grabbing probably the steel I-beams and stuff and just yanking them down. Expect something more. That's your AAA. And I parked here. Parking might be at a premium if you want to watch this demo. There's the salt and pepper shakers. But yeah, there's room. There's plenty of room. There's plenty of parking, although they got it kind of blocked off. But another look at the washer, dryer, salt and pepper, whatever you prefer. And then, some train action, and I'm en route to the city of Plymouth, downtown Plymouth. And it's like a music festival, and it's like, why not? And we could the city of Dearborn could take hints on what Plymouth does here. Every city's got something going on, but there's Plymouth, the western edge of Wayne County, more or less. But here, music, Fridays at 7, music in the air, did it say? And so August 11th is Magic Bus. And if you haven't been on the Magic Bus, you should hop on one if you get the chance. All right, 7:12, so they have accurate time. And then they have artwork throughout the city, but some vandals got a hold of one of those and made a little bit of a mess, but they caught it all on video. So, what a bummer. So they asked the public's help in finding out who these people are. So I don't know if these people ended up turning themselves in or what, but anyways, Kellogg Park, and then they got a parking deck nearby. Oh, I'm going to take the loop-de-loop through the city of Plymouth, and we'll get an idea, but it's kind of a cute little city. And yeah, they did the urban planning right. Certainly having a downtown is cool. All right, here, music. This event is kid-friendly and pet-friendly. And they have t-shirts to sell, too. They're kind of groovy and rainbow colored, so I don't know if that's too woke for some people, but all right. The City of Homes or whatever, here we go again. and you can never have enough cowbell. And then here's their fountain, and they had trouble in the past about soap. Yeah, they, something about kids putting a prank in soap, so it still looks like the soap's in there, but anyways, it's going to be clean nonetheless. Oh, and then there's some, like, flower children, or the groovy children of the flower children, or their great-grandchildren, however that works. But yeah, it was groovy back when they were doing this music, and then the offspring are groovy also. We'll see them around. They got a wood-fired Kachina across the way, and the Arbor Brewing Company. Lots of bars and restaurants, so you won't go for wanting in that regard. They got the City Hall Library and Museum. Look how well attended this is. There's tons of people. A lot of people bring their pets, so that's cool too. Younger crowd, but on this particular event here on Main Street and Ann Arbor Trail, it's the older folk. Even people older than me. But yeah, they were hearkening to a time when they were young and full of vitality and could bounce around. But it's fun to see them move around and get a little exercise and dance. And look at the cowbell again. You gotta love that.
Even though you're forsaken me, there's no one like
timing is off there, but oh, look at those glasses. They fit him well. And different companies do it up with keeping the flowers looking good and colorful and watered. That's important. Then this is a nice place here, and it was a beautiful evening to be out on the deck or the porch, whatever. And good cloud day. The sun will be setting shortly. Got the fountain thing going, the music. They had food and all that. Here we go. If you can speed read a little bit, the Wilcox House. Certainly a landmark. Inventor of the BB gun and the co-founder of the Daisy Air Rifle. Well, how about that? Then it goes on. Yeah, who's got all the time? They're playing music. I can't dilly-daddle, but yeah. The W for Wilcox, and yeah. All right, well, there's a party animal. It looks like he's ready for the next remake of Animal House or something thereof. Here, City at the Crossroads, so the DIA has a collaboration going on. How about that? So art is everywhere. Then here, now selling, available the fall. Still got a little work to do, but yeah, check this out. Plymouth is kind of a hip, happening little city, and look, walking distance to Kellogg Park. Yeah, and they got some heavy artillery out here. It's a big cat. Then it's got a little scooping thing. Then here would be the entrance road, and then it would zip around and parking like lower level, but a 2-car garage underneath your place. So that's the development company, and they got some info here. Luxury is in each detail, so there's a phone number and a website there. Nowadays, geez, you even need to put a QR code because people are too lazy to type it in, right? I don't know. Here's a giraffe on a rocker. But yeah, it was a good scene in downtown Plymouth, and this is like a Friday night, so that works. People are automatically in a good mood. Yeah, they got some nice flowers abounding everywhere. It was a good people watching type event. You know, even from off yonder, you can look back and see all number of people. So if you're into that thing, and who isn't, A lot of people to watch, a lot of people to keep an eye on. But then you can just do an open air patio thing and sit down and have a meal, have a drink, just chill. And then some of these that are close by, you can hear the music from afar. Yeah, and even if you want to do shopping, you could. I think this place closed at 8 though because the lights were going off. Then the burger spot, burgers, shakes, fries, and more. And they got their own food truck. They're keeping an eye on the stage. Look at all these outdoor patios though, and they had an issue with the patios and how much the city was going to charge these restaurants by the foot. All right, so art is everywhere, so in between some of these alleys they had the artwork. But be aware, there's cameras all over the place, even people with cell phones that are ready at the drop of a dime will videotape you doing something nefarious. So if you want to damage, especially damaging artwork, shame on you. So yeah, people have their cell phones now. You would think that would be such a good deterrent for people acting stupidly, but sometimes it doesn't always work that way. Here, the dollhouse. So this would be great for like Barbie and all that. They got everything done up in pink. I'm at one of these outdoor patios now, and I'm keeping track. The Lions had their first preseason game, and they're up against the Giants, who we saw earlier, and they lead the Lions 13-3. So I was ready to throw in the towel, just like, oh. But I thought they played one set, and that was it. You know, maybe city regulations play one set, and we're good to go. But they played on. We'll see. Here, a 900% increase. Oh, the horror. So I don't know if this was a one-time fee or what. They were comparing it to other cities. How they actually do this, this wasn't explained all that well, but it was a big to-do in Plymouth. The city council and the mayor, everyone got their panties all in a bunch, and especially the restaurant owners and stuff. But it's comfortable, I'll agree. It's nice to be sitting out on a patio, and you could monitor the Lions game. And lo and behold, yeah, they were the band played on, so it was like, well, hot damn, round number 2. Although I've got about 3 more minutes at most, and then it'll have to be on Motor Capital. I'll continue this on Motor Capital. Same channel, but a different bat time. Their neon sign is really starting to glow now as it gets darker. And they play White Christmas come December, the holiday time. Don't let them take that away from. They had a big to-do here about that.
Thank you.
right. To be continued. Thanks for watching. Have a great week or weekend or whatever the case may be. All right. Good night.